Hi guys, welcome to another video of mine. Now today's video is all about IELTS writing. I know, writing is the part that we all regret, right? That we most fear when it comes to IELTS exam. But today I'm going to share some tips that got me a band 7.5 and I'm going to answer some of the frequently asked questions. So if you are studying for your IELTS exam and you've got some questions in your mind, and these are the common questions that most students ask. So I'm going to give you some tips, some advice, and I'm going to share my personal experience with you guys. Now, before I start today, if you are new to my channel, please like my video and subscribe to my channel because there is a surprise gift coming up for all my subscribers. But just make sure that in order to participate or receive that free gift, you have to be a subscriber to my channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. So let's get starting with the IELTS writing. So the first question that I'm going to talk about is, and the students ask the most is, should I do task 1 or task 2 first? Now guys, the order doesn't really matter, okay? But you have to make sure that you finish both of the tasks, the essay and the graph or the letter, depending on what type of exam you're doing, whether you're doing academic IELTS or are you doing the general IELTS. You have to make sure that you finish both tasks on time. But it really depends. I can't give you a straight answer because it really depends on your choice, but you have to make sure that you finish both of the tasks on time. And secondly, you have to keep in mind that task 2 carries double the mark for task 1. So let's say if you couldn't finish task 2, that's really going to be detrimental and it's going to make it very hard for you to get a good score. So make sure that whatever you do, whether you do task 1 first or task 2, but make sure you complete both of them. As for from my personal experience, what I did in my exam, I did task 1 first. It did take me a while to analyze the graph and everything, but it was all right because I did manage to finish in about 20 minutes, which is the allocated time for task 1, I mean, and then I moved on to task 2. So make sure you keep in mind that task 2 carries a higher mark, double the mark for task 1. Okay, let's move to the next question. Now, question number 2. Many people ask me when I got a band 7.5, like if I had to give 2 golden tips to get a high band in writing, like what was my mantra, what would I advise? The most fundamental 2 basic tips that I would want to give. So the first step, which is the most important one I want to give, if you want to make sure that you get a high band in IELTS writing, is to plan. So let's say you're in your exam and you're about to start your writing. First, you read your question carefully. You analyze it, so you see what kind of question it is, whether it's what kind of essay it is, whether it's an advantages or disadvantages question, whether it's some other kind of question, whatever, because there are different types of questions that can come up in your IELTS exam. So make sure you read the question carefully. What's this all about? Then you spend at least 5 minutes analyzing and planning. Both of these things you should do in 5 minutes. Okay, so you should keep 5 minutes of your time to analyze and plan your essay before you actually start writing it. And guys, this is the golden tip. This is like the most important step that I can give you. Okay, and the planning, the kind of planning that you're looking for is like the kind of basic structure that your essay should have. So you should know, after you have read your question carefully and you have planned it, you should know how many paragraphs you're going to write, whether you're going to write 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, or more. What are the main ideas that you're going to talk about? Any examples that you're going to give to illustrate your basic points, your basic ideas in those paragraphs. So these are the kind of things that you should have a rough sketch over there when you plan. And guys, I know there are many students out there, they just read the question and they just start. Guys, it's a wrong way. It's a wrong method, okay? It's very important that you spend these 5 minutes planning. And trust me, you're not wasting your time. It's like an investment. So you're investing in something good and you're going to get a good return. And obviously the return is a good band. Because when you have planned it, you would know that how many paragraphs you're going to write, what things you're going to write about, what ideas you're going to talk about. It's everything. Everything is in front of you, and it's going to make it really easy for you guys. So this is my number one golden tip. Let's move to the second golden tip that I've got for you guys if you want to get a good mark, is manage your time properly. Guys, in any exam, this is crucial. Okay, if you can't keep a track of your time, it's going to be detrimental. Okay, you're not going to get a good mark. Trust me, just imagine, like, let's say if you spend more time on task 1, you won't finish task 2, and task 2, obviously, you know that it carries twice the mark as task 1. Or if you do well in task 2 but you don't complete your task 1, then also it's hard to get a good band. So you should always keep a track of your time. And when I was doing my exam, I remember time was something that I struggled with as well. So I made sure that, like, I kept an eye on the clock, and I made sure that I am not lagging behind, or, like, you know, I'm not spending too much time on one part and neglecting the other, because either way it's not going to work out. It's not going to give you a good result like that. Okay, so make sure that you manage your time properly, and that's where your practice comes in. Whenever you're practicing, you have to make sure that you sit down with a question, and then you time yourself, and you try to write the essay or whatever you're practicing for your IELTS exam in that allocated time. That needs practice, but it's not impossible. So let's move to the next one. The next question that many students ask is, what if I get a topic I don't know anything about? It's a very common question, guys. Now, it's almost impossible for you to get a topic that you don't know anything about, but it can happen, unfortunately. So what you have to do, what's the way, how you can go about it? Well, for that, you have to prepare smart. Now, when I say prepare smart for your IELTS writing, what do I mean? Well, I mean, there's a tip that I want to give you guys. You have to prepare some common themes that come up in the IELTS exam. Now, that's kind of lucky for us, because in the IELTS exam, they do repeat the topics. So there are some topics that come up very often, like education, like global warming, obesity, especially in children, it's quite a hot topic, pollution, space exploration. So let's say if you got a question about space exploration and you didn't know anything about it. So what you can do, well, in advance, when you're preparing for your IELTS, during your preparation time for the exam, that's when you have to work really smart. So you read about the topic, the common topics that come up in the IELTS exam. So let's say you don't know anything about space exploration. So you go to some journal, some newspaper, and you read about it. What else you have to do? Well, when you are reading that article, you have to note down the vocabulary in your notebook. I've already made a video about it, guys. You can check out my other videos to see, but you have to keep a notebook, and you have to note down good vocabulary in that. So that's another way that you can improve your mark. And that vocabulary that you are learning is not going to just help you in writing, it's going to help you in other parts as well, like speaking and other things as well. Also, a very important thing that we always neglect when it comes to IELTS exam, especially the writing part, is you have to develop your analytical skills. So for the writing part, they will give you they'll give you a statement, and then you have to tell whether you agree or you disagree, or they'll give you a statement and then you have to say what are the advantages and disadvantages. So when you read something, let's say about space exploration, like, you know, maybe they can give you a question like, you know, government is spending a lot of money on space exploration. Do you think it's the right way? Should the government be spending so much money? So you have to read about that aspect, like what are the positives, what are the negatives, like, you know, for example, just as an example, like, you know, the negative, you can say, like, you know, it's better for the government to spend more money on the issues that are that humans are facing already, like famine, like poverty and things like that, and tackle them first rather than going out in space and spending so much money on there. Or as an advantage, you can say something like, you know, space exploration, because we are running out of the resources that we are using, the water, the electricity, all these resources. So if you find some other planets, like, then maybe we can use those resources for our benefits. So these are the kind of things. So you have to analyze, like, what are the positives, what are the negatives of the things, because this is something that you have to develop when it comes to task 2 in your IELTS writing. And that's something that you should do while you're reading the topics and you're preparing your vocabulary. You're analyzing topics, the main topics that come up. I just gave you an example of the space exploration topic. So these are the kind of things that you're looking for and you should be doing while you're preparing, because it's very important that you do develop this skill. And guys, it's not impossible, but it does take time and does take practice. So you really have to work hard if you want to get good band, especially in writing. Now, the last question that many people ask is, how much should I practice? And guys, trust me, the answer is very simple: as much as you can. I really mean it, as much as you can, because writing is a skill, and for that to be developed, it takes a lot of practice. So you have to practice as much as you can. And from my personal experience, when I had to write my exam, I used to write at least 2 essays every day. Now, guys, it might sound a little bit crazy, but it's not, because it is true. Because I knew that getting a good band in writing is very, very difficult. And that was something that I was struggling as well. So I was writing at least 2 essays every day. Now, it's just a very handy tip. Like, you don't have to write a complete essay. So let's say you take a question, you don't have to write a complete essay. What you can do is, like, and I did that because I used to find it very kind of boring, like writing complete essays. And I want my preparation to be a little bit organized as well. So what I did was, like, I used to take 2 to 3 essay titles, but I used to take it different types. So one can be like advantages, disadvantages. One can be like, what's your opinion, whether you agree or disagree. So I was taking different types of essay questions, and then I would focus on, like, let's say week 1, I was focusing on writing an introduction. Next week, I will focus on how to write the body paragraphs. So this is how you can organize your preparation as well, and it really helps, guys. So that was all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you did find this video useful, please like my video and share it with your friends or with anybody that you know is preparing for the IELTS exam, because it would really help them. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button, because very soon there is a surprise gift coming up for all my subscribers, but that's only for my subscribers. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button and become a subscriber. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck for your IELTS preparation. Take care.